Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions? Like life has hit pause, and no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to move forward. You're not alone. In today's video, we'll explore 10 warning signs that you might be stuck in life and, most importantly, how to say you feel lost or directionless. Sarah had always been an achiever. After completing her degree, she landed a great job at a well-known company. But something didn't feel right. She woke up every morning feeling like she was just going through the motions without any real sense of purpose. Her job felt more like a task than a passion. One day, she decided to sit down and write down her goals. To her surprise, it wasn't a job or career goal that she truly cared about. It was to travel and experience the world. She didn't have to quit her job, but by setting small, achievable travel goals, she started to feel her life had meaning again. Conclusion: sometimes the key to finding direction is asking yourself what truly excites you. Start with one small goal and see where it leads. Sin R. Procrastination is your default mode. Daniel had big dreams of starting his own business. He had the ideas, the plans, and the resources. But every time he sat down to work, something distracted him. Whether it was checking his phone, watching TV, or chatting with friends, Daniel always found a way to push the work to tomorrow. Months passed, and his business still hadn't launched. One evening after another night of procrastination, he realized the problem wasn't the work itself, it was how overwhelming it felt. He decided to break down his tasks into smaller, manageable pieces. Instead of focusing on launching the entire business, he focused on creating a simple website. By completing just one small task, he built momentum and eventually launched his business. Conclusion: procrastination often comes from feeling overwhelmed. Break tasks into smaller chunks and tackle them one at a time to get moving. Sin-san. You spend hours distracted by social media. Apriya loved staying connected with her friends on social media. But over time, it began to consume her. Hours would slip by while she scrolled through Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. She realized that she wasn't feeling more connected, just more anxious and distracted. One morning, she decided to conduct a little experiment. She set a limit on how much time she would spend on social media each day and replaced that time with something creative, drawing, reading, or even just walking outside. The first few days were tough, but as she dedicated herself to other activities, she noticed she felt more productive and at peace. Conclusion: social media can be a huge time sink. Set boundaries for yourself and use that time to engage in more fulfilling activities. Sin C. You're overworked but unfulfilled. Tom was always busy. His days were filled with meetings, deadlines, and endless tasks. But no matter how much he worked, he felt unfulfilled. He started feeling drained, both mentally and physically. One day, after a particularly exhausting week, he realized that his work was not aligned with his passions. Tom loved mentoring others, but he spent most of his time crunching numbers. He had a conversation with his boss about taking on more mentoring opportunities. and he was given the chance to lead a team of junior employees. Tom's days were still busy, but they became much more rewarding. Conclusion: busy doesn't always mean productive or fulfilling. Align your work with what you love, and you'll feel more energized and motivated. Sin, woo. You avoid socializing. Rebecca was once very social, always hanging out with friends, attending parties, and exploring new places. But over the past few months, she found herself withdrawing. She didn't want to meet up with friends or join in group activities. Instead, she spent her weekends alone, binge-watching shows or scrolling through social media. One day, a friend reached out to her, and despite feeling hesitant, Rebecca agreed to meet. The moment she arrived, she remembered how good it felt to be around people who cared about her. From then on, she made an effort to step out of her comfort zone, and over time, she reconnected with her friends and felt much better. Conclusion: sometimes, withdrawing can feel like the easy option, but social connection is essential for our well-being. Reconnect with those around you for a sense of joy and purpose. Sin Liu. You're afraid to take risks? Alex had always wanted to start a fitness coaching business, but he was terrified of failing. He watched others succeed and wondered how they managed to take the leap. He was paralyzed by the idea of losing money, time, and energy. One day, he decided to try a small risk. He offered free online fitness sessions to a small group of friends in exchange for feedback. The response was overwhelmingly positive. That small risk led Alex to gain confidence and start his business part-time. His courage grew with each step, and within a year, he was running his business full-time. Conclusion: taking risks doesn't mean making big leaps all at once. Start small and build your confidence with each step. Risks lead to rewards. Sin C. You lack passion or motivation. Maya used to love painting, but over the last few years, she had stopped picking up a brush. Her motivation to create faded, and she found herself stuck in a routine that didn't bring her joy. One rainy weekend, she decided to revisit an old hobby, painting. At first, she felt disconnected from it, but as the colors and shapes took form on the canvas, something clicked. She felt alive again, as if her passion had returned. Maya realized that all she needed was to reconnect with something she once loved, and that spark reignited her creativity. Conclusion: when passion fades, revisit the activities that once brought you joy. A small step toward what excites you can reignite your motivation. Sign Ba. Your routine feels monotonous. Omar's daily routine had become predictable and repetitive. He woke up at the same time, went to work, ate at the same places, and went to bed. He felt like he was living on autopilot. One weekend, he decided to make a change. He signed up for a cooking class, started a morning workout routine, and explored new places in his city. The change was refreshing. Suddenly, his days felt full of potential and new experiences. That variety injected excitement into his life, and he felt more engaged with his work and personal life. Conclusion: monotony can drain your energy. Shake things up by adding new experiences to your routine. Needle. bring back excitement and focus. Sign Joe. Your environment feels cluttered. Lena's apartment was filled with things she didn't need. Papers piled up on her desk, clothes were scattered on the floor, and her kitchen counter was a mess. The clutter made her feel overwhelmed and unfocused. One Saturday, she decided to tackle the mess. It wasn't easy, but little by little, she organized and cleaned. By the end of the day, her apartment felt lighter and more peaceful. The physical clutter was gone, and she noticed her mind felt clearer too. The space around her reflected the clarity she needed to move forward. Conclusion: a cluttered environment can make you feel stuck. Declutter your space, and you'll find that your mind becomes clearer and more focused. Sign Sheer. You've stopped reflecting on yourself. Kevin had always been an introspective person, often journaling and reflecting on his actions. But lately, he had stopped. His life had become so busy, and he felt disconnected from his thoughts and feelings. One evening, after a difficult conversation with a friend, Kevin realized he hadn't taken time to reflect on his own emotions and decisions. He started journaling again, even if just for 10 minutes each day. That simple habit helped him process his emotions, make better decisions, and reconnect with his values. Conclusion: self-reflection helps you gain clarity. Make time to reflect on your thoughts and emotions, and you'll find the guidance you need to move forward.